All right, ladies and gentlemen, as you know, we live in very, very troubled times. And joining us now to help us sort it all out and improve our lot in life and the country's lot as well is the president of the American Enterprise Institute and author of The Conservative Heart. And we welcome in Arthur Brooks. Hello, sir.
Good to see you.
Good to see you. Thanks for stopping up.
Delighted.
All right, so How to Build a Fairer, Happier, and More Prosperous America is the subtitle there. First question is, when you say fairer, what do you mean?
Well, fairness is not in the eye of the beholder, but the truth is that's a term that's been appropriated by liberals for a long time. One of the reasons I wrote the book is I want conservatives to steal the language and icons of the other side and really start to win. Liberals talk about fairness as equalizing incomes more. We understand true fairness is rewarding hard work and merit and personal responsibility. We should be warriors for fairness because the truth is there's not enough fairness in this country. Fairness is going the wrong direction. Let's take it back. Take back fairness, let's take back compassion, let's take back social justice. This book actually shows readers how to do it. If they read this, they'll never lose another debate to a liberal about poverty.
Well, then you should give one to each prospective presidential candidate.
I have
as well,
indeed. I've done it
because we've heard what prosperity and happiness, and as you pointed out, fairness means and to liberals.
Right.
So how do you overcome? Because when they run against a Hillary or a Democrat, and when they have the argument or a debate with their friend, then their friend, the average person, their friend could say, "Oh, well, I saw it on CNN, I saw it here, I saw it there." That's what the media says it is. So it's not only common sense and philosophy that you need to debate, and the presidential candidates need to debate, but they also need to overcome the popular point of view put forth by the media, which really isn't popular throughout the country, but they act like if you don't agree with it, there's something wrong with you.
Yeah, sure. Look, I mean, the biggest thing that we have to fight against is the whole idea that as conservatives, we don't care about the vulnerable. I mean, the idea that's put forth is that liberals, they may be soft-headed.
You're mean.
Liberals, but they care about poor people.
Right.
We, on the other hand, we think that poor people are moochers and takers.
Right.
That's not true. How do we disabuse people of that notion? We got to start talking about poverty. Half the country is being left behind with a zero economic growth rate. These are people who need greater opportunity. The left, what are they offering? They're offering arguments about income equality. Americans don't care about that. These are hobby horse arguments of Bernie Sanders or something. We truly have a popular argument about opportunity inequality, but people are not going to know we care about it unless they see our conservative hearts, because they know that we're fighting for people who are in poverty, people who need to get ahead.
Now, I mean, this book isn't written for presidential candidates, it's written for the average person. So how is the average person, what could they learn from this book, and how can they benefit from what's in this book?
Well, this book does two things, basically. Number one, it's got the proof that our ideas have pulled more people out of poverty than any other system and any other set of ideas in the history of humanity. American conservative ideas have pulled 2 billion people out of poverty since you and I were a child, Steve. It's incredible. And the proof is in there. So for your next Thanksgiving dinner, for your liberal sister-in-law, lay it on her, because we've got the proof. But number two is how to argue these points in a way that's persuasive, where people will understand that you care. There's a whole chapter, the last chapter of this book, it's called The 7 Habits of Highly Effective Conservatives. How to talk so that people will listen. This is the way that you're going to persuade the persuadables. If you memorize these 7 things, I guarantee you're not going to lose another debate.
It is very important. It's very frustrating at the dinner table as well, when you have the liberal relatives, and when they gang up on you, it's not a good situation. But when you look at the presidential field today, who excites you?
I am happier than I've been in a long time, I got to say. Look, nobody's perfect. I got it. Nobody's going to be perfect, and nobody ever has
Well, Hillary
been.
is, but other than that,
that's right. Well, but among the Republicans, man, we've got a better slot of candidates that are talking about poverty. They're talking about ordinary people who are struggling, much better than we've had in a long, long time. All the top tier candidates, from Jeb Bush to Scott Walker to Marco Rubio and to Ted Cruz, they're actually optimistic about what the country can do, and they want to help people who've been left behind, particularly left behind by President Obama's economy. That is a composite candidate that's optimistic, that's unifying, as opposed to pessimistic and divisive. And that's what we need, so people don't think that we're the angry ones. They understand that we're the ones with love in our hearts.
And there's a constituency out there, several constituencies, and I think of the African American community, the Hispanic community, that agree with so much of the conservative message. It's just a matter of overcoming, as I said, the media, the entrenched black leadership like the Sharptons and whatnot, who tell them no, 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 and making them say, look at where you are based on the failed policies. We have better policies.
Yeah, and they also the other thing that we have to overcome is how we talk. There are too many conservatives that get in front of people who are really persuadable. Latinos, for example, who have relatively conservative family values, who have relatively conservative work values, but they listen to conservatives and it sounds like we don't like them, that there's not a place for them in our movement. Donald Trump is not talking the right way. Look, I understand the anger that his movement is based on. I understand that people are alarmed. They feel like we're in trouble, but Donald Trump needs to talk about aspiration, not anger.
Arthur C. Brooks, ladies and gentlemen, The Conservative Heart, and it is a good heart. Good luck with the book. Thank you for coming
Steve.
up.
Thanks.
All right, folks, much more of the Steve Malzberg Show straight ahead. Don't go away.